Hello and welcome. Dulquer Salmaan does not need introduction as Malayalam movie legend Mammootty's son because he's a superstar himself. He's done highly successful films in Malayalam, Hindi, Telugu as well as Tamil. On the eve of the release of his second Telugu film Sita Ramam, Dulquer Salmaan, along with lead actress Mrunal Thakur, spoke to NDTV.
నా పాట నేను అనాథాల బతికిస్తుంటే ఉత్తరాలు రాసి ఇబ్బంది పట్టిందే కాకుండా దారి ఖర్చులు ఇస్తానంటాం న్యాయమా? ఏమే సీత.
Hello and welcome. A romantic film with beautiful lyrical music set in the backdrop of terrorism in Kashmir. If you are thinking Mani Ratnam's Roja, we are talking about Sita Ramam. And I have with me Dulquer Salmaan and Mrunal Thakur. For both of you, in a sense a debut, for you first time in Telugu, and you did Mammootty in 2018 and very bravely played a character who in fact had certain negative roles as well, and yet you became so popular. Heartthrob, absolutely, I must say.
Thank you.
So, you have shot in multiple locations. Kashmir must have been very, very, very challenging, and Russia too, I'm told.
Yeah, Russia, the girls went. I was denied the opportunity.
Girls are
they
fun in
tempted me
Russia.
many times saying we'll shoot in Russia, but we began in Kashmir in March of last year. We had to get the snow, so before the snow melted, we had to finish all our other commitments and get there. So we began in Sonmarg and Srinagar, and that kind of set the pace of the film. That's where we first met, Mrunal and me. But we first thought Kashmir was challenging, but then we shot in Spiti Valley in November. That was tough. That was, the first time I'm seeing like pipes frozen over, no running water, things like that. We had crew members dropping like every day. Somebody has, altitude issues or breathing trouble, and there's an ambulance on set. So that was challenging.
You get to wear warm clothes and you didn't?
I had some warm clothes, but the song, she was...
As long as I wear warm clothes in Spiti, Kaza, it's okay. But when you have to wear the same clothes in Hyderabad and shoot in 39 degrees, 40 degrees, pretending that it's cold and one droplet of sweat just drops, it was interesting. It was different. It's a different experience. But I must say that whatever we've shot, when you watch it on screen, you just feel like it's absolutely worth it. I remember -10 it was in Sonmarg when we were shooting the dance, the song, and my hands were literally frozen. But today when I watch it, I feel like, this is, for being an actor, you just have to train your mind. You just have to say, oh, it's so hot, I'm like sweating, So, but it was fun. I got to explore, like I've never been to Sonmarg before. I've never traveled to Russia, Sidhpur. And I think that's the beauty about being an actor. You get to travel and explore so many places. You get to know about the culture. And I think these are the things that we pick up and add that into the character. So you'll see little bits and pieces that in Sita it's totally different, as far as Mrunal is concerned. So I am really happy that I've like discovered myself as a human and as an actor through this journey.
సీతని ఎలా పట్టుకోవాలి? నాకు ఇంకా 10 days టైం ఉంది. రామ్ గురించి తెలిస్తే సీతని పట్టుకోవడం ఈజీ. లెఫ్టినెంట్ రామ్, మెడ్రాస్ రెజిమెంట్, సర్వీస్ ఇయర్ 1965.
Dulquer, in Mammootty as well, you had a retro look. Now you go back again to the 65s. That's something that seems to go very well with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was born in the wrong era or something. But it's something I genuinely enjoy. I think when I was young, I felt like, budgeting of films and inflation and everything, you were seeing less and less period films because what they could make in the 70s and 80s, I feel like in the 90s it was not really easy to attempt because the numbers were so big. So I never thought, even if I were to become an actor, that I would have the luxury to do this. So I think now that it is possible and the business has changed, I relish every opportunity. With every frame I feel like I'm stepping back in time.
Being the son of Mammootty, the living legend we call him.
Yeah.
And from that time onwards, you no longer need that introduction at all. You are a superstar by yourself in Malayalam cinema. You've done Hindi films as well. You've done Tamil as well. What is the need that you feel now to venture into new languages?
It's not something I've seeked actively or consciously. Like I get these offers, I get inquiries, and then if I like the script, if I identify with the character, and if I can manage the language, I don't think beyond that. And I really cherish these opportunities. I really cherish. I guess like Mrunal said, how much we find ourselves in traveling. Imagine being able to travel through a different industry and a different language and experience those cultures and those people and that literature and all of this. So I think that's all I'm seeking. People think I have some big plan to do this.
Despite being your father's son, the pressure was not there right from childhood saying, I also want to be there. You started late. You actually did business.
Yeah, I started very late compared to some of my contemporaries. But I think I felt like the boots I had to fill were too large. And I think I've grown up with a consciousness that I don't want to ever tarnish my father's name in any which way, whether it's my conduct or how I behave. It's been something I've always been very aware of. So if I became an actor and I failed spectacularly, I thought like, it's not like him having a bad movie. Like it's something that I would inflict. So I shied away from it for that.
I'm sure he's immensely proud of you now.
I think he's quietly proud.
Mrunal, you actually came from a very different background, and the transition that you have made, first of all, perhaps not a film background at all, unlike Dulquer, and coming into television and then making that transition into cinema, the big cinema, and doing OTT as well, that must have been a tough journey as well. And for everyone, I mean, you get labeled. Once you are in television, they say, familiar face, too familiar a face perhaps.
Yes, actually I would really like to thank my audience, because I think now they're open to see, they're watching us in they prefer watching content on OTT, be it television, be it big films. There's no, when I started my career, I used to watch all these shows, Friends and Big Bang Theory and all of that. They used to feature in films also. So I don't know why was that stigma or that stereotype. I just felt like it's important for me to break those stereotypes, and I realized this one thing, that I need to be proud of where I've started my career from, because a lot of actors I met, they're like, you need to hide that you've done television, and I said, I do not want to hide that. I take immense pride in that. In fact, I started my career and I owe it to television. I think one of the reasons, today I just discovered that there are a lot of people who used to watch my television show in Hyderabad. So it's not like it is my film debut, but people already know me. That's an advantage, and I'm really grateful. Yes, it was difficult because there are a lot of people who would have their judgments and thoughts ki, television actors shouldn't feature in a movie or any other things. But I realized that for an actor, what is important is, as long as I'm facing the camera, it's okay. I don't care which medium it's going on. That's why I wanted to do films. I wanted to do Hindi films. I want to do Marathi films. I want to do Telugu films. I just want to break that record and let people know that if you're an actor, you're an actor. It doesn't matter which language, what platform, what film or show or series, Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, should just not matter.
For you, the pressure of actually being in a film family was more which kept you away, you would say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But that's, it's also your personal journey and your personal demons, and it doesn't mean other children from film families have had those issues. Maybe they were supremely confident and they felt it's their birthright, and I'm going to do it and prove my legacy. But I think we all have our own journeys, and I think I had to find the right time, want to take that plunge, want to face my fears.
Sita. బానే ఉంది కదయ్యా.
4 మాటలు పోగేసి ఉత్తరం రాస్తే కాశ్మీర్ని మంచు కొదిలేసి వస్తారా?
Also, it's an interesting time, isn't it? Like you mentioned, films from here are no longer just Telugu films because they get seen everywhere.
Yeah.
And OTT has kind of universalized. Kerala is like ruling the roost. Everyone's watching Malayalam films.
Yeah.
But there have been certain things. There's a caste system almost like that. It's as though the North Indian films are very different from the South Indian films, and the acceptance from the audience is there. Is the North a little insecure about the South?
I should answer that question.
You should tell me that. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I like there's this competition vibe, but not insecure. The best thing is that, see, I have been a part of Jersey remake, and I fell in love with the story and the content, the way it was shot, and the actors. Nani, they've done like incredible job. In the north right now, what is happening is like, what is the next Telugu film or Malayalam film that we must watch? So I'm really happy that we all are like accepting it's no more like a Telugu film. It's like an Indian film. Like Dhanush also, when his film released, he said it's really beautiful that no longer we are representing a particular state, or it's an Indian film. Like today we were discussing that Dulquer speaks Malayalam, I speak Marathi, Rashmika speaks different language. We have Brinda Masterji speaking Tamil on set, Hanu sir speaks Telugu, so it's like an Indian crew.
Yeah.
How wonderful is that, isn't
So
it?
many actors. We have like Bengali actors. We have Marathi actors. We've covered the whole of India.
Yeah.
And if you watch the film, you'll see that Gautam sir is from Chennai. When he's also part Mallu. We've covered the whole country in the film. But I don't know if I feel like insecurity is a strong word. But every time one industry does well historically, I feel like all the other industries kind of sit up and take notice. What are they doing right? How do we change our attitude or like our choices? And generally, I think the past 2 years is something none of us predicted what happened. And everyone across the spectrum, including Malayalam, we're all sitting and reflecting and trying to figure what next. It's not like any of our. I think every industry is facing trouble bringing audiences back to the cinemas. So everybody's reflecting right now, trying to figure what kind of cinema, how do we bring them back, how do we draw them, how do we attract them, to give them that experience that they have to watch in cinemas. I can't wait a month for this to come out on OTT. So I think that's happening across. I don't think it's. I love that the films are traveling. I love that everybody's watching everything. Historically, we've always watched Hindi films. Now I love that the North markets are watching our films, and they're not finding language a barrier. I don't know how much people are reading subtitles, but you don't always need a language to tell a story. I think people are just identifying with the story and the actors. So I think it's a wonderful time. It's a lovely transition.
And for an actor, is there something like that? Like, you were mentioning that moving from television to that was natural for you, that you got a bigger platform, or you rather targeted a bigger platform. You wanted to be there and doing that. But now OTT and big films, is that something that big stars are willing to straddle both these worlds?
I think we've both done cinema and OTT. I finished something with Raj and DK for Netflix. You've done
Tufan just came on OTT.
Directly, but that's a film. But you've also done an anthology. I'm sure you're open to series.
Yeah. So, see, that's what the only aim I have is to reach to as many audience as I can. And if that is happening through OTT, then why not? Like 190 countries and its territories, it's incredible. Yeah. And I'm really happy that through social
Indian
media
population, you'll have them all over the world.
Yeah.
Even other way, like if
other
you do an Indian show,
well.
like a Netflix will dub it and subtitle it into 190 or 200 languages. So it's a strange reach that we never dreamt possible.
Yeah.
20 years back ఆయనతో కలిసి పనిచేసిన లెఫ్టినెంట్ రామ్ గురించి మాట్లాడాలి.
ఎవరెవరిని కలిసింది, ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది?
ఈ లెటర్ సీతకి ఇవ్వాలి.
20 ఏళ్ళైంది పేర్లు విని.
ఆ కథలో ఎదురు చూస్తున్న మనిషి వచ్చారా లేక?
ఇప్పుడు నాకున్న ఇబ్బంది నన్ను మాట్లాడనివ్వట్లేదు. కానీ నేను ఇక్కడికి వచ్చింది రామ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయడానికి కాదు, నా ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేసుకోవడానికి.
And the music, I guess, it started with a Rahman, perhaps, that acceptance came there, and then you had stars who you spoke about. Even this film has beautiful music.
It's
And
incredible.
It's the soul.
You also sing.
I sing pretty. I'm quite useless at
Some
singing.
for us. You're confident enough to do that.
I'll sing. I have these lyrics saved as a go-to thing that I do. But Vishal has done an amazing album and an amazing background score.
And my day starts only with not because I'm saying it because I'm a part of
No,
Sita
I've heard
Ramam.
people say, even just today, this morning, my colleague was telling me that his wife actually listens to your music song every day now.
There's so much soul, and it just takes us back to that era, and there's so much love.
Do you have the lyrics on your phone?
Yes, but
I found it. Yeah.
Found it?
But yeah, so I mean, Mrunal and a whole bunch of the team haven't heard the background score in the film.
No,
but because I've been dubbing in so many languages, I keep getting one reel which has a background score, and it's amazing. Like not just the songs.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Where do you have it later?
Okay, you wanna join in? ఇంతందం దారి మల్లింద భూమిపైకే చేరుకున్నడా లేకుంటే చెక్కి ఉంటారా అచ్చు నీలా శిల్ప సంపద జగత్తు చూడని మహత్తు నీదిలే నీ నవ్వు తాకి తరించే తపస్సులా నిషేధులన్నీ తలంచే తుషారానివా.
Wow, that is
I very smartly not picked the songs which have
Tamil would have been beautiful
higher
too.
pitches.
Yes, Tamil is a language of comfort.
Tamil I would have been comfortable with, but I think because we've all heard the album in Telugu originally.
That's how we shot.
Yeah, so we like that the most. I think it just sounds correct. Everything else seems to be a variation.
Another movie of yours that we loved, of course, was Okay Kanmani with Mani Ratnam. How was that experience like that?
It's amazing. It's like I got into an Ivy League school or IIT or something. I think all of us actors, and you get that crucial call from Madras Talkies and that meeting with Mani sir, and you get a film. I feel like it feels like this giant accomplishment, irrespective of what the film is and what it does. Like just to be noticed by him or even considered by Mani sir, I feel like it's a big prize for almost all of us actors. So I genuinely enjoyed just being there like a student. I was observing everything, like the way he stages a scene, the way he blocks a scene, how sharp he is. His eye for detail is incredible. He can walk into the room and be like, "Oh, that bed sheet is off. That continuity is wrong," and it'll be like light blue and sea blue or something. Like the rest of us can't tell it apart. So he's that on to everything, and
Vijayanthy Film Zone, Mahanati. How did you agree to play Jamni Ganesan? I mean, in a biopic, which is obviously not centered on your character, but on Savitri, and yet you made Jamni Ganesan very lovable. He was, of course, called Kadal Mannan, I think, the lover boy originally.
Lovable, right? But
so how did that come about?
I think, I met Nagi and Swapna and Priyanka and all of them, and so they said they're making this biopic on Savitri Garu, and I was like, that's interesting because they're all young, like they're all 30 somethings, and so that's interesting that you guys are exploring something like that. And then they said they want me to play Gemini sir, and I was like, I don't look anything like him, that was my first concern. Second, I was like, Telugu is so alien to me because I've never had that exposure, never had any time here, a few friends. So I kept saying no, but they were very insistent that, but I got the film, I understood the film, I understood the role. And I kept insisting that you find somebody from Telugu to play this because, to do justice to the role. And I don't want to be the only weak link in an otherwise amazing sort of classic film. But yeah, I think they had conviction that I could pull it off. But I kind of got to explore the character through his family, and inevitably, if he's someone who's had so many wives or affairs and all this stuff, he's bound to be charming and likable. And what I realized was everybody loves him. Like none of his kids, nobody seems to have anything negative to say about him. So I found that interesting that to play somebody like that. I genuinely enjoyed the conflicts and the grey areas. That was, as an actor for me, that was not something I get to do all the time.
Yeah. Quite a tough balancing act, keeping yourself very lovable and yet you have this fun.
As an actor, I feel like that's what we enjoy doing. It's more interesting to play grey and sort of dark stuff, because it's more intense.
So Sita Ramam sounds like a very traditional title. I mean, Sita, by one interpretation, at least should be a very conservative woman who perhaps her life got controlled in many ways by Rama. This is nothing to do with the mythology, is it?
No.
Yeah.
See, that's the beauty, The beauty about Sita Ramam is the bond that Sita and Ram share. It's their journey about how they fall in love and what happens next. That's what Sita Ramam all about. It's not about how her life has been controlled.
No, not at all.
In fact, what I love about Sita is the fact that in spite of being in that era, she's way ahead of her time. She decides, she's so decisive, she takes decisions for herself. She's that kind of person who's like, if I will not decide what I want, someone else will decide for me, which I'll not be happy with. So I really want to be happy, and I want to make sure that I take charge of my life and my control over that. So I think we need more women like Sita Mahalakshmi. Forget that era, in this era as well. So yeah, that's what Sita and her love for Ram, that's what the film is all about.
నీకు రామ్ ఎవరో తెలుసా?
నేనింకా అనాథని కాదు కదా.
Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me on this chat. And best wishes for Sita Ramam as well.
Do watch it and let us know what you think.
Yes, most certainly. So that's a trilingual that's going to release on the 5th of August, and I'm sure audiences across are going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching.